Hmm.
To me, I have a friend of mine. So let me go talk about stuff. I have a friend of mine that is so old one and so I give you one of the conditions that you can buy a car before she has.
Good evening, all our people. How are you all doing? Real quick, I just want to talk about an incident that I came across on social media earlier on today. A guy broke up. We're still on the radio. A guy broke up with his. So I said, Tony Lume, man, I saw I see him. Myself, I be chairman now. Eh? So a guy called off his wedding because his wife demanded a 450,000 naira dress. What is your take? Was the man justified in calling off the wedding? What to discuss this real quick? I'm going to invite quite a few people. I just need to get off the radio first. Fine people, how are you doing? Hey,
Boss,
what's up, bruv?
boss.
Real quick, was the man stingy or was the man not stingy?
No, sorry, I'm just coming in and I really don't get the.
Man, listen, topic. How can you not know the topic? You are now coming here. Please, please, please. The topic is a man called off his wedding because he wanted to get his wife a 150,000 naira wedding dress, but the wife insisted on a 450,000 naira dress. Was this man justified? I'm live. I have Ada Blessing on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I'm waiting for her to sign off so we can talk. And then I've got Benny Ark here. Ada, are you looking at the time?
I am. I don't get my final take, and I'm saying we should hear from you, so we leave.
All right, here's my final take. I'll be online giving a final take. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. Hey, guys, today we're supposed to talk about toxic parents and toxic parenting. Unfortunately, we didn't have the time, so look out for us tomorrow on Live and Dangerous on 99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be talking about toxic parenting. All right? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Take care, Ada.
Take care, Daddy Free. Bye.
All right, guys. Benyak, how far?
I'm all right, Trace. How you doing?
I'm good,
a while.
friend.
It's been a while, bro.
Oh, yeah. I'm Benyak. All right, Benyak, my name is Daddy Freeze, but I want to remain anonymous tonight. So, please tell me, what do you think? A 450,000 naira dress, and the man calls off the wedding. Is he justified?
It's a partnership, right? That's what they say it is. And so if he decides not to afford it, then if it's a partnership indeed they're going into, then she should pay for it. I think he reserves the right to do what he wants to do with his money. And so if he feels that man is too much for a dress and the lady desperately wants it, then she should cater for it. I mean, if it's that pertinent for her. So I wouldn't tag him as stingy. I would rather say he has priorities. And so he doesn't see the need for a 450,000 dress that is just going to be one-off. Then it's within his prerogative to say, you know what, I'm not going to pay for it. And so if he decides to bring the money,
you hot seat on the. Would you buy a 450,000 naira?
it's a matter, again, Fritz, it's a matter of prerogative, right? If I can afford it and I don't see it as any big deal, I will. But where I can't, and she desperately wants it, that particular dress, then if she can cater for it, she can pay for it, let her go in and pay for it. Where I can't, I won't do it. I will not do it, and I shouldn't be characterized as now stingy because I can't, I don't want to buy it. You know, because so priority comes to play. You know.
I agree with you 100. Ladies in the house, I want to bring a lady on while you're still here. Just hold on. Ladies in the house, send me a request. Send me a request. All you ladies, send me a request. Okay? I can't see any ladies here. All I see is just men. They want to come and rant and say, the man is not stingy. No problem. Come and rant. Let's hear you. I personally don't believe the man is stingy. Hello? Are you calling from Hellfire? Can we the devil there?
Yes, I'm here.
You're not the devil, oh. I mean,
That's your thing.
Yeah.
Put on. Hey, okay, just tell us quickly. Hey, you're back. Oh, what? You came and went. No, that's Bookie. You that are inside darkness because you're my. I'm making it look like these people are children of light.
No light.
Where are you?
I'm at home, but no light.
At home.
Yeah.
Where is home?
Home in Lagos.
Lagos. But there's light. Am I not in Lagos? Like you're living in two different lights.
Yeah, in VI, no light though.
You are in VI.
Yeah.
Not talk the one way house before for your head. Yeah.
But Fritz, this is Nigeria. That's one sign to prove that you're living in Nigeria without saying you're from Nigeria.
Please. Let's not say that Governor Olu come to your house not to do and give you light, then going back. How can you say there's no light in VI? Anyway, Bookie Shorter, please, the matter is before you now. Tell us.
See, it depends on the couple's perspective about money. So money is a very big thing with couples, with marriages. So some people feel that 400,000 would be too expensive for some. And in terms of, okay, after the wedding, maybe the guy is thinking, after the wedding day, what are we going to eat? How are we going to live? What is after that? What happens? A lot of women, I'm a woman as well, it's all about that one day. But after that one day, what happens? And people don't think about that. And I think if the man can afford it, if the woman can afford it, it is your day. You're only going to wear that dress once. After that once, so I think that is quite, for me, I think it's excessive. I think a woman could look good. Let her pay for it if she wants the 450. No, if she can, let her pay for it. But I don't think it should be the man's burden. But again, like I said, it's what happens after that one day when everybody has shopped and left. You see, when we go for weddings, we go this week, we chop. Next week, I go for the next one, I chop. Next week, so after that, it's up to the couples. How the couples live, pay their bills, survive, and all that. So I don't blame the guy, but we don't know the reason behind. Plus, some women are really high maintenance, even though they know that the guy can't afford it, but they want to do how do you call it? They want to show off and do that. That one day the heavens must know. I'm a patiti rare. You will shake everywhere. You will oppress everybody. So that again, the guy might know that this woman has that kind of mentality, and she wants to show off and all that. You might even have the money. So if you want to buy something like that, if you can afford it, buy. When we were doing our own, we couldn't afford. I think we only had like 12 people, if I'm not wrong. No, 20 people. We took 20 people to a restaurant. I bought a nice dress that I could afford. I don't think it was more than £50 or something like that. I just went to one of Next. I think I went to Next and got something really nice that I could afford. He bought what he could afford. We took about 20 people down to the restaurant. We had a meal for everybody, and everybody went home, and we could afford that. But a lot of people live beyond their means. They can't afford it.
Okay, let me
But
ask
for
the other.
that one day,
Sorry, you wanted to say something?
I said because of one day, people will clear their account.
Now we have another lady here, the lady in black. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good
On
evening.
on my own opinion, I feel if I were the guy, I would do the same thing. Honestly, like the fact that I want to get married to you and you are you are aiming high, you want to get something more expensive that is probably out of our budget. If I'm also the guy, I will cut off the wedding. Because since she's not on, even if honestly, even if I can afford it, but the fact that I told her I don't want that, you should like obey me first. You get like let me allow me to like since I'm the one that's gonna pay for it based on the fact that I'm the guy. You get at least listen to me. Don't take the one that is more expensive. Go for a lower price because this one is just a wedding, and after that wedding what is left is marriage. You and I will be together for this. So are you trying to like tell me that I should use all my money to like get you a dress because you want to look super expensive on your day? And if you wanted to like look so expensive on your wedding day, why didn't you work for it before the wedding? If I were the
Abs-
guy, that is what.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you, and God bless you. Let me remove you because you don't have a light. So thank you.
Okay.
God bless you. Wonderful, wonderful contribution. Now I want to add Miss Kelechi. Miss Kelechi says that a wedding day is very, very important. Please send me an invite, and I hope you have light because I don't want to bring people that don't have light. On your ten. You are coming here. Also, if not, on candle or rechargeable lantern or on your and stand in the shadow of it so we can see you. So Miss Kelechi, please, 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 I want you to come and say that thing you are saying that you are typing. Please come and say it here. Where is she? Miss Kelechi, how can you not have light? What kind of nonsense is that? I now don't have food. And hands can fall hand, Sha. Okay, Rachel, Jesus girl. While you are putting on your gen, let me bring somebody else. Okay, what is your take? Is it an extravagant? Benny has left us. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Wale Plus, my lovely brother, how are you doing? Why are people complaining about fuel? Did not get mind. Try. It's now left. I'm left with you alone here, Obuki.
Yeah.
Where's everybody else? They have gone. I don't. Now, wow. They will send requests, then you invite them, and then when you invite them, they will now run away. I don't know why they are playing tag in my Agatha. Agatha always have something nice to say. She's here. Let me. Agatha knows how to scatter everywhere. Now, everywhere goes light fire.
Hi.
Agatha, you are here. I knew you light this place candle. Oh yeah. What is your take?
Okay, I think we're going to look at this from two different points. The first thing is we should also have it at the back of our mind that the lady and the man in question know each other. This is what I mean. If you are dating somebody that clearly you know he cannot afford to buy you a wedding dress worth that amount, you would not out of the blue begin to ask for a wedding dress of 450. It's also possible that the lady knows the guy has the capacity to afford the wedding dress of 450,000. But I'm saying that we attach so much importance to things that are not really important. Just like Beniak said, and the other lady said, it's just a dress you wear for maybe max 6 hours. And after that 6 hours, that dress becomes just something you hang. It becomes an antique, or it becomes something that is almost worthless. Worthless. So I think the thing is, we should begin to think about what life would be after that celebration and not just how glamorous you want to be. See, most glamorous weddings that I've even seen, most of them have even before they began. 2, 3, 6 months into the wedding, you notice that both parties have gone their separate ways. So I'm just saying, but also have it at the back of your mind that before that lady had made that request of a dress worth 450,000, it's possible she knew the man from the story, and that's why she went ahead and made that request. That's my own contribution.
Okay. Daniels wants to be put TV background. They are complaining about TV. I got Lady
Sorry?
Pink.
Well,
What is your take?
How can we fix this simple? Hello, everybody. Hi.
He's on.
So, I just wanted to say a few things.
Okay, go
So,
ahead.
if as a lady you're getting married to a guy, TV,
Yes.
that's my son.
Just reduce it.
Is it better now? Daddy, wait. Yes, I just did.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. So, if as a lady you're getting married to a guy, I'm going to actually speak on both perspectives. I'm just saying what I feel or think. So, if I were a guy getting married to a lady, I should come out open to her so that she would know what I'm capable of doing financially for the D-Day. Hello?
We can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello?
We
Yeah,
can
we
hear
can
you.
hear.
we can hear you.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so
Have a
I
delay.
presume the guy in question must have done that. I presume the guy in question must have done that and expected the lady to know what he's capable of doing. So in such case, where she's not heading or like adhering to that information and working towards their financial capability for the wedding, he can call off the wedding depending on him. Why would he do that? One being that he knows what his future is likely going to look like with such a lady. Number one, she's probably very extravagant and cannot manage money. As such, maybe will not be able to manage a home, depending on how much the guy is able making or like bringing back home. So if he calls off a wedding, he knows the reason why he did so, and it's okay by me. That goes to say that he must have made the lady understand that this is what I can afford for this day, and this is what I cannot afford. But for the lady's side, if I were to be her and I want my D-Day to be so flamboyant and, dressed in all that silver icy dress and all that, and it's 450. If I want that, like some lady who came up before said, I'd work my money to get that dress out for that day. Even if it's going to cost so much as that, I'd work my money to make it out. And I might not even end up telling my husband how much that cloth was worth. Being that I understand his financial background and maybe stability, I would work my money out and buy that clothes for that day. If not, I would say she should go for a lesser one that could also give her the same elegance as she wanted and even more, because there are others too, I believe. So that's just my take on both sides.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
My
And
pleasure.
thank you for coming to my live.
This is my first time.
Oh, what's your name? Chika.
Chika, yes, I've always been here watching, listening every time. I'm like, okay, today I'm going to pull up this. Thank you so much for having me.
Let me follow you.
Thank you.
I can't follow you from here though. Anyway, send me so I can just follow you back from there, Chika.
Sure,
Where are you?
I will. Canada?
Woo! Awesome. The land of
Thank
many.
you.
All right, Buki and Agatha. What do you guys think?
I have to say one thing though. I agree with everybody. I mean, we are all on the same page, kind of. But again, two things come to mind. Number one, a lot of guys and ladies see they're what we call red flags. I'm sure at some point, even before that happened, that incident of the dress happened, there must have been some red flags about her lifestyle. or the kind of person she is. But you know, when you're in love, you ignore those flags. When you see those signs, it's not a problem when you're in love. So that is what I think. I think it probably some things must have happened and it kind of ignored it. Maybe this one was now like topped it. Because if that wasn't the only reason why he would call it love, I'm sure something must have happened before. So that is number one. Number two, calling it off at that last moment again, it's cruel. I think it's unkind. I think he should
But
have like
what if I don't want to buy the dress and I myself being in a relationship, someone wants me to buy a dress I don't want to buy, and then
yeah, I understand. That's what I was saying about the red flag. See, Yoruba people say, "Nǹkan téèyàn ò ní gbà ní olówó àti tálíkà ló fi máa kọ̀." Sometimes
man, you go they reject them from poverty.
from poverty, exactly. So if you're not going to take something, I always say something about relationship boundaries. When you start a relationship, you put down. But I know people are in love, and when they're in love, they take a lot of nonsense. But it is best to put down boundaries at the beginning of the relationship. If you see someone, it starts with little things, very, very little things. Maybe you go to the shops together and she wants the most expensive things when there are lesser things there, just little things. When you put those boundaries in place, at that stage, you know whether you can continue. If she's happy, she'll continue and she will adjust. But if there are no boundaries, then it now becomes a problem. But like I said, I am 100% sure there's been some red flags even before that incident of the dress happened, that it got up to here for the guy and just said, you know what, that's it. But that wouldn't have been a sole incident that happened. I'm sure it's a build up of other things that happened. So that's just what I feel. But when you're in love, you forgive. You forgive until you can't forgive again or you can't take it again.
And there's some things that you also consider deal breakers. Many guys also. Okay, yes, Agatha, over to you, my sister.
Okay, Daddy Freeze, I'm going to take a little shift from what the lady said. I think what we've all been doing is we're just drawing up some certain kind of conclusions based on the fact that we feel the guy cancelled the wedding because the lady asked for a wedding dress worth 450,000. The other question we're not asking is, how did the guy present himself to the lady? That's another thing we also need to know. Look, I've heard and I've read stories. I haven't seen, to be fair, but I've heard and I've read stories of, meeting a gentle young man in Abuja, and then he comes with the flashiest of Benz or maybe a Range Rover or maybe, what do you call it, a G-Wagon. He takes you to a very well-furnished house and all of that. And then, when you do that to a lady and the lady begins to see you like you're a rich person, then she also would set her expectations high of you. So it's possible the way the guy, presented himself to the lady, he showed her that it was something that he could easily afford, right? And then she went for that. So it's another place where I feel like we're not looking at the situation. The truth is, I don't think, because I don't know what the real gist is here. What I've heard is the guy cancelled his wedding because
I
of the
agree.
450,000.
We're forced to make a decision on paucity of it. So, yes, but working with the information, since we have to make a decision and a suggestion. Ladies and gentlemen, Hero Daniels, how are you doing, brother?
I'm good. I had to do the legendary Daddy Freeze wave. Happy to be here.
You see matter with the ground.
Yes. So here's the thing. As a wedding MC, I work with couples all the time and I work with event planners all the time. And I can understand where the woman is coming from wanting a 450K dress. Yeah. That is not to say that it's right, because in this case, right or wrong is very subjective. But if we were to subject it to the budget of the man who called off the wedding, then it's wrong, in the sense that it could come off like she wasn't considerate and she didn't consider the man's pocket. But to some other people, 450K might not be so much money. However, we need to understand that we need to also look at societal programming and social constructs. By social constructs, it means that every woman, right from the time they're probably 9, 10, 11, 12, teenage years, they've always dreamed of their wedding day. Men don't even start thinking about their weddings until they see that they're clocking 30. And I'm not saying this is a general rule, but most often than not, you see that women are more invested, you know, on their wedding day. So for a woman to want a 450K dress is because the dress is beautiful, you know. That's how she wants to feel. That's how she wants to look. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you want to look at it from the angle of being considerate to your partner, which is the man that is probably providing the funds, if she had her own money and she's using her own money to buy her own dress, there's really nothing wrong with that. That being said, we should also understand that women really want that day to be perfect. You know, it's their day. It's really their day. It's also the man's day, but like I said earlier, because of our social construct, women have always dreamed of their wedding day. Men, most often than not, they're not trained to really, you know, they don't aspire to that day, to be honest. Most men don't aspire to, my wedding day. My take on this finally would be that for the man to call off the wedding, I don't know how to feel about that. I just feel like perhaps he could have communicated with the lady. I think that was a bit too harsh. But at the same time, I can't judge because he's the one getting married, not me. So perhaps he had said, okay, this woman might not be able to take me to where I want to go to, or maybe this woman might just physically be extravagant. So, and I don't want an extravagant woman. But for you to have a woman that desires a 450K dress, you should have seen the signs. You know, if your woman has high taste,
like I got a girl that used to sell oranges. Do you understand? And then she would ask you for a 450K dress. You probably picked a girl that you pop shopping for rally, you drive around in a Benz, because people don't they measure them, they come.
Exactly. So you should have
450. You go don't see her papa. You don't see the kind of place where she too they come from, or she'll be a high standards girl. She'll be carrying Gucci and then on her wedding day you want her to wear 50,000 naira Marks and Spencer.
It's not gonna happen.
What I'm telling you. So, like Agatha said, there would definitely have been the signs. You would have been seeing the signs, and you also rightly said. Now, as a wedding MC, I'm putting you on the spot now. What is the strangest thing that has ever happened at a wedding before that you've MC?
Well, I have a non-disclosure agreement, but the strangest thing is a particular couple plans their wedding based on promises. So what eventually happened was, you know, when you're having a wedding and one uncle has promised you, don't worry, I will give you 10 million. Another one has promised you, don't worry, I'll give you 5 million. So you plan it based on promises because 2 days to the wedding, phone never show. So on wedding day, we start with the call. How far? What can you do for me? That's the strangest thing that's ever happened to me. When, you know, a couple had planned based on like promises. Like it's not like they had the cash, sent payments to vendors. On that day, while I call boss, they can't tell us
walk away or a bride walk away, and they are begging.
What did you say?
You've never had a groom threaten to walk away, or a bride threaten to walk away, or the parents of the bride?
No. The highest is you just see the bride and the groom having like a temporal scuffle, you know, behind the scenes, thinking that people are not looking at them. But immediately they come back into the hall, they just smile like nothing happened. So I haven't seen any of that dramatic, and I hope not on my watch. God forbid. It's not in the wedding that I will host. And they're not saying who hosted that. They say zero. If you know how.
All right, round. Bookie, I give the floor to you. Of course, if there's anything you want to say, Agatha or Hero, just let me know. Bookie, over to you. Signing off. What are you
Yeah,
final?
yeah, yeah. Remember, you said something now that one thing that stood out for you was when couples made wedding plans on promises. I said something earlier. It is good for husband and wife, or husband to be and wife to be, to sit down, communicate. How much do we have? How much can we afford? Like I said, I used myself and I'm using myself. We sat down then, we didn't have much. Or rather, most of our funds, we were thinking about life after the wedding. We've got bills. We sat down. How much can you afford? How much can I afford? So we planned our wedding based on what we could afford. So when families chipped in to do other things, that was from family, but our plans had nothing to do with the family. And because all we could afford was something very little, we only could take, I'm not saying everybody has to follow that, but we only could take 20 people then. Life is a bit different now. To a restaurant, a good restaurant. We fed them. They had a drink. They had a good time. We had a good time. And our wedding day was done. I think that is another important thing again. Couples should be able to come to a stage where they can say, how much can we afford? Not rely on other people. Not even, look, someone can promise you money and something can happen to the person. God forbid, emergencies can come up. God forbid, people can end up in hospital. I mean, not to sound morbid, look at what happened last week. I'm sure the people last week who God bless their souls wherever they are, they must have had plans, promises for people, for family, for friends, for themselves. So life happens. So I think it is nice if couples get to a stage where they say, what can we afford? Okay, we can't afford more than 500,000. If family now help, good. If they no help, good. But that is us. Cut our clothes according to our money, our pockets. That's just my take.
Thank you so much. Hero, Agatha, anything else you want to say?
Not necessarily anything. I just want to say important communication was missing somewhere, and then we cannot entirely blame the man or the woman because we don't know the real background story. The thing is, the man either overbloated himself to the woman and then the woman requested for that thinking he could afford it, or the woman is somebody who just wanted to have this and then she didn't care whatever it was going to cost. I want my 450,000 dress and I'm just going to go for it. It could be any of the two. The truth is I don't have the full details, but if two questions, a 450,000 naira dress for somebody who might not be able to afford it, is it something you want to do? I think the main bone of contention should be the life after the wedding. But for an Elon Musk, it's 450,000 naira, plenty money. It's nothing. A man who can afford that wedding dress will buy it without even any issue. So just weigh
If
your
Elon
husband.
Musk ready, Dangote, I'll be MC.
Yeah. So you can imagine.
He'll say, Dangote, how much you want? I want you to MC. How much do you charge?
Simple. If you date an Elon Musk today, why
Hi,
not?
ladies. So much, Hero. Hero was apparently having some internet issues. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank
Love
you, guys.
one. Glad to have your opinions. And guys, you join us from time to time. I'll be on live tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be preaching. Not every time is G. I know you guys like G. Shout out to Tony Elumelu who commented my. Take care, guys.
All right.